Homeless is not being, it's not fun.
Live and survive.
Homeless, it's sad.
There's no cookie-cutter approach to fixing it.
I learned that. Learn to survive out there.
I was sleeping on the hillsides with my husband. We'd lost our home from crack addiction. We had nothing. I lost my baby pictures. I have nothing left for my family. Friends and family don't talk to me anymore. These are my family now. Some of the staff and clients here, you know, and just things went from bad to worse.
When you're homeless, you lose your voice. And particularly as a woman, if you're in a relationship that is either emotionally or physically abusive, of any abuse of any type, you lose your voice. And when you lose your voice, you lose your ability to speak up, to speak out against what it is that is inhibiting you from living your life.
So it's really hard to, even when I'm working project, it's really hard to get money together. It's hard not having your own address, because I used to have my own address, I used to have my own space, and used to do a lot of stuff like that. So it's really hard not having your own address, because you have to get your mail sent over there, and if you're looking for work, you gotta get in the phone number for where you're working and stuff like that. You know, where you're calling. It's like, and it's sometimes it can be really, well, a little embarrassing, like, you know, because I don't want people to know where I'm living, you know. And they go, where are you living? And go, just put down the address, and I go, this is where I'm living, and stuff like that. But it's hard not having your own address, and it's hard not having your own space, you know, that you can call your own.
We provide people who don't think there's any other alternative, that this is all they will ever know. We provide them an opportunity to catch their breath, to look inside and find that space to just catch their balance again, so that they can look at, are there other alternatives? Are there things they could do differently? Because if you do the same thing again and again and again, you're going to get the same result. But if you can get to a place that it just says, okay, I need to stop and breathe and gather my wits about me and gather myself together, what can I do differently? How can I move forward? And at the drop-in, that's what we do. We give people that chance to look at their lives and say, well, is there something else I can do? And what can I do? And then we help them find the resources. When you're homeless, you're still a human being. You still have needs that are no different than yours or mine. I always, when I talk about homeless, I always say, you know, nobody woke up one morning and said, I have a dream for my life, and that dream is I'm going to be homeless. I'm just going to go live out on the streets. It's not a dream somebody had. It's a nightmare that you can live, but it's not a dream. And we all want to make a difference. I think that's part of the human spirit, is we all have a belief we can make a difference, be it in our own lives, in the lives of those we love, our families, our friends, or in the lives of our community. We want to make a difference of some sort. The challenge of when you're on the street is that you don't believe you make a difference, let alone that you have the potential or the opportunity to make one. So what happens when you've lost that will or that spirit is that there is no sense of dignity, there's no sense of belonging or of a belief in yourself that you make a difference to anyone. So you lose the belief, you lose that place of where do I belong in the world. So dignity is important, but it's really hard to give somebody dignity. You can treat them with dignity, but until they believe that they are worthy of that dignity, of being treated with dignity, and they treat themselves with dignity, they can't give it to them.
It was devastating, realizing that, oh my God. But it took me a couple days to get used to it. I know I cried a whole lot my first couple of days here, because it was just, wow, I'm in a shelter with my child, you know, and this is
I know it's not the best thing to do, but at least you're safe. At least your kid's well taken care of. Good dinner for the night, bed, bath, shower, whatever, laundry. Extremely difficult, because it's difficult with this one, like when they're so small, because you have to make sure you got your stroller and your bag for the day, and make sure you have enough diapers and food, and it's difficult. You're up at like 5:30, 5:45. You get your breakfast and your bagged lunch. Really good food though. The buses are between 6:20 and 6:40 to pick you up.
When a family will come to us, everyone arrives here at 4 o'clock. We open up our doors. An outreach worker, if they're a new family, as soon as they arrive, they're assigned an outreach worker. We fill out applications for housing right away, for Calgary Housing, for affordable housing, for Métis Urban Housing, for any of the other subsidized properties that are out there. We get them in right away. Within about a week, we do an in-depth intake with them to find out, some of the more deep-rooted problems, if there are any. We ask for their long-term goals, their short-term goals. What do they want? They've moved to Calgary. What are their goals to try to be met? And then we work with other agencies to try to help make those. We can't be all things to all people, so we work with a lot of partners to be able to provide those services. When you're a child and you're homeless, you can't go to school because you don't have an address. So we have 3 partnering schools that will take our kids. We have an elementary, a junior high, and a senior high. And so we bus our kids to them. It's in a bus that doesn't have like in from the cold on the side of it, so they're just one of the kids. We pay for their school fees. We'll pay for any backpacks, school supplies, field trips, anything that they need, so they can just be one of the kids, just up there having fun. The school does know there are kids, obviously, and they give them extra attention, because when they're with us, they get up really early in the morning. They get up at 5:30 in the morning, and they start their day running, basically, and by the time about 2 o'clock hits, the kids can be falling asleep at their desks. So the teachers are very sympathetic and understanding to that. My most horrific memory I will ever take with me is there was a little 4-year-old boy. I just started, I was here about 6 months. He came up to the front desk, and we had just finished all the roll call and everything. We were just assigning beds. He came up to me and he said, "I didn't hear my name. Do I have a bed tonight?" And it just about killed me. It was like, oh, absolutely, sweetie, you got a bed, no problem. But inside I was like, why should anybody that young have to worry about that? Like, that's wrong, so that's what keeps you going. You don't want that to happen. You want to keep going, so he has a bed to go to.
Stayed out there too long here. Stayed out there for 8 months before I come in here, and the meantime I managed to freeze my left foot, and lose a toe and a half, and caused other damage to the nerve ends. I don't walk too steady or stand too steady. Stayed out there too long. In my bed, in my wheelchair. Oh yeah. It was easier to sleep in my wheelchair than it was to get down on the ground and then get back up, because the bulging disc between the 3rd and 4th vertebrae. A lot of trouble getting down. I get down so far and then I have to drop the rest of it because I couldn't control my descent. Got to find me a place that's affordable and subsidized housing, 30% of income, and where I can do my own cooking.
When I first became homeless 2.5 years ago, it was with a drug addiction. My husband and I had 10 years. We were both smoking crack, and it became a bad addiction. We lost everything. Like I say, the home, my kids respect. I don't even see my kids anymore. They're not even talking to me. I don't even have baby pictures left anymore. I stored stuff that I thought was a friend. She got rid of it all within a month. And I was terrified. When I first came in here 2.5 years ago, my husband was like, "Don't go to work, don't leave me here, I don't want to be here." And of course, we had segregated, me with the women's and him with the men's. And I cried myself to sleep at night. I was just so uptight and scared. Some of these people scared me. Some of these people still scare me. What does homeless look like? Is it that bag lady pushing the shopping cart? Not always. Look around. We're in all shapes and sizes. We're out there, you know, and we're people too out there. Some people you would know for sure that we're homeless, others that you wouldn't. I mean, I know many working poor that are homeless.
I used to play for the Medicine Hat Tigers for the WHL, but one of my teammates, just because I got drafted before him, kneed me right in the elbow, right in the knee. I got pins right there, and in my ankle. After that, my $375,000 contract got terminated. They only gave it to me for one year. I got my grade 12 and everything, but I got hooked on that morphine after I got kneed by my own teammate. Oh, I sleep in the mats. Or no, actually, I'd rather sleep in lobby, because extra half hour there. Mats, they wake you up 5:30 in the morning. Over here, they wake you up around 7 o'clock.
You just have to mind your own business. You don't want to mind your business, but you have to mind your own business, right? And it's really hard. You see people shooting up. You see people drunk in the alleyway. You see a lot of stuff that, you know, nobody should even see. So you just kind of I just walk by and I don't even, not that I don't care, I just mind my own business now, because it's better off. Because in here, you know, people get threatened because somebody ripped somebody off over money or over crack or over marijuana or over something really stupid, and there's a big fight, right? Because it's something so little that, you know, somebody can lose their life over, and it's crazy. So yeah, you do get scared. It's not a nice place to be homeless without, you know, having a place to call your own. It's not fun to be there. So it's, you know, it can be really scary, especially for women. I don't know, some women are really tough, but it can be really scary.
In order to fix something, we really do need to understand, like, what are the issues and what is it in the human spirit that dies when you become homeless? And how do you repair that? Like, how do you rebuild that and reconnect it?
When do we finally say as a society that enough's enough? These are people, and we need to start treating them that way and do something. Build some houses that they can afford. You would empty that out by, I bet you, 3/4. The drop-in center would just be empty if you got some places for them to live, because they don't want to be there, you know. And there are the ones with the mental health issues, absolutely, that cannot be housed.
We are all the same. It's just the circumstances of our lives that are different. And I've also learned a lot about hope. When I get in my car at night and I drive home, I remind myself that I can do that. I can go home and I can, you know, put my feet up and I can have a cup of tea or take my dog for a walk. And I have the freedom to do that. And everybody here lives with the hope that they'll one day have that freedom again. And I'm always in awe of the spirit of the people here, because no matter the circumstances of their lives or where they're at, they get up in the morning and they try again. And they take another step. And I believe that part of the purpose of the drop-in center is, in a lot of instances, to keep someone alive to the point where they can make a decision to make a change. And if we're not here, they don't have that opportunity to stay alive. And I think that's really, if that's all we can do is keep someone alive to a point where, you know, with grace, they will find that courage to make a change, then we've made a difference.